views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Sunflower Media Mint. Some programs might include strong images or language that might be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
What can you do with 30 minutes? For us, we define things. Straightforward. New perspectives. No gray area. It is black and white. You're listening to the New You Podcast.
I missed the show. Back to the pod. Good evening. Welcome to the New You Podcast episode. What episode are we? Episode 18. 24th of June. On a Wednesday evening. If you failed to catch us on our previous episodes, you can download us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and right now it's available also on Google Podcasts. So there's a lot of exciting topics that you can listen to. But for tonight, for this episode specifically, we usually go on air every Tuesdays, but ayun, Wednesday tayo. We had the whole gang here because we're talking about the new wedding, and it's not right to talk about it with only one person, two person, three. We have the whole gang. We have 4 guests for tonight. When you're planning your wedding, you definitely have your whole crew out there, and we invited them for you. We have Father Bong Bayaras. We have Noel Salazar of Quirky Creatives. We have Buboy Dionisio of Big Eye Events. And we have Angela Ibarle-Silan of Day One Project. Welcome to the show, guys.
Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Kamusta kayo? Kamusta ang lockdown situation for all 4 of you? Anyone can share?
Alphabetical tayo. Angela, kamusta?
Okay. Angela.
Ano naman, kasi since hindi kami muna pwede mag-weddings, no? So kailangan maghanap muna kami ng ibang racket, so to speak. So ngayon, lahat kami nagve-venture into different things. Ako, personally, trying out selling. So nag-start muna ako sa alcohol, tapos dami palang overpriced na alcohol, so tinigil ako ng alcohol. Ngayon naman, nasa longganisa na ako. So maya-maya hindi ko na alam kung anong kasunod, pero yun, kailangan talaga kasi dahil walang wedding. So, yun, longganisa queen muna ako.
So, ano muna tayo? Longganisa by Day One Project. Father Bong, kamusta?
Yes.
Ayun.
Well, currently nasa seminary kasi ako na-assign. So, I'm assigned to Paris.
Hello? Father Bong? Father Bong?
Father Bong, we're losing you. I think yung audio.
Wait.
Hello?
Ayan.
Wait lang. Abi ba? Punta ako dun. Ha?
Okay na?
Yeah.
Hello?
Okay na.
Okay.
Punta ako.
Ngayon, medyo busy yung ibang mga simbahan sa mga relief is yung mga reaching out for those people na mga walang-wala din kakainin. So, yun ang Sa amin ngayon sa seminary, nasa amin ang repacking station ng mga relief goods. Kaya, isa sa mga kabisihan dito sa loob ng seminaryo. That's it. Yung mga ginagawa namin ngayon.
Buboy, kamusta?
Yeah, for me, aside from my day job, events-wise, I'm quite busy with my own show. It's Road to the Big Day on Facebook Live.
Nice.
So I'm on episode 7 already. Yun yung pinagkakaabalaan ko na lang. I've had the chance to have the husband of Miss Angela, Brother Jan, on my show before. So yun lang actually yung ubos oras ko ngayon. Rather than hosting events, I'm hosting my own thing. So it's a nice time as well to catch up with suppliers, get to talk to them, especially during this period na they're not really out and about, unlike on a normal basis. So it's nice to know their craft, know a bit of things about them, personal, and of course, what we do under the new circumstances.
It's a good thing that we're trying to learn and we're trying to adapt to what's happening right now. Well, we don't know what's in store for the future, And it's good that we are, well, trying to evolve as we move forward. Paring Noel, kamusta ka?
Mm.
Kamusta ang buhay
Ah,
photographer?
okay naman. Parang dahil walang makunang tao muna,
Oh,
ano, food na kinukunan namin muna, 'di ba?
sarap.
So, 'di ba? So nagfo-food photography na lang muna kami, ganun. Tapos bukod doon nag-aaral din ako ng copywriting, may online courses para hindi ka bored sa buhay. Pero yun lang naman, yun lang. Yun lang inasikaso ko buong lockdown.
May tanong ako dyan sa food photography mong yan. Pag dinala ba yung pagkain
Ah.
yan, syempre hindi na kinukuha yan.
Depende.
Kasi kung hindi
May
na kukuha
anim na
yan,
cake pinadala dito. Siyempre, di namin kinain lahat.
pakibigay yung address nating lahat doon ha. Ipaki-deliver sa mga bye-bye. Maganda palang racket yung food photography. Oo, di ba? Kaya parang nakita ko ang dami mong sinushoot na fit na cakes ngayon ha. Alam nga namang ubusin yung dalawa niya. Anyway, kidding aside, it's good to
Okay.
ha? It's good to hear from you guys, knowing that
Binabalik yun.
okay, disclaimer tayo. Binabalik yung cake. Binabalik yung mga food. But kidding aside, guys, it's good. It's good that we are adapting. We are trying to our best to really learn new things and discover new opportunities for all of us. Kasi alam naman natin it's hard, and that's the reason also for us we started this show for about a month now. It's really to keep in touch with the outside world, and well, this is basically the outside world. Talking to you guys, talking to different people every night, every time may episode. And it's good na yun, like what Buboy said kanina, no? It's good na nakakausap natin yung mga ibang industries also, other suppliers, other crafts. We learn what they do and all. That's good for us. But guys, before I go on with our topic for tonight, kamusta ko muna yung co-host ko. Reg, kamusta? Anong nangyari sa mata mo?
Wait lang, may disclaimer lang ako kasi andyan na nga sa comments si Ma'am Jen, tinatanong ano nangyari sa mata ko, kung umiyak ako, hindi. Ma'am, feel ko talaga nung nakatulog ako kanina. Pagkagising ko, kinagat ako ng ipis o lamok. But it's subsiding already. Okay naman siya, Carl. Medyo subsiding na siya. Kanina medyo malala nung umaga.
Good. Ipa-quarantine mo muna yung mata mo. Mahirap yan. Anyway, to the topic for
Hindi sa
tonight.
umiyak ako kasi hindi naman ako umiyak.
Agang disclaimer niyan So, aligned with the pag-iyak mong yan, well, different of pag-iyak naman yung nakikita ng mga taong to every now and then because this is very familiar with what we're talking about for tonight. It's actually the wedding. Okay, so it's been a great industry actually for the past years now. Nakikita naman natin how grand the celebration is for the weddings. From before, sanay tayo with the tradition and all. Syempre, handaan yan and all. Tapos nakikita natin na it evolves to something na nagkakaroon na tayo ng mga SDEs, and then the type of buffet is changing, as in lahat. Even the details on how it's being decorated, the mood board, yung pinaka thought process into that, na well, yung mga taong to ay very familiar with. But right now, well, alam naman nating lahat, the whole world knows it, na COVID coming in, it changes everything. Okay? So that's what we want to discuss for this episode because definitely ang dami sa atin na ikakasal din na somehow tinamaan yung planning stage or pwedeng may mga nagplano na they want to understand what's happening, paano ba ako gagalaw, ano yung kailangan kong gawin. And that's why we invited the whole crew, the whole gang in this episode. So, let's start. Simulan natin. Yeah. Reg?
Can I say something lang?
Sure,
Kasi parang yung isang friend ng friend ko kinasal just recently.
Okay.
It was just him, his wife, his now wife, and the priest. So it was just the three of them. And then may isa din akong nakita which I found interesting. It was a small group wedding. Of just like the bride, the groom, the priest, and I think just a handful of family members. Tapos the rest of the wedding was parang streamed via Zoom for the other family members and the other guests to watch or participate in.
may mga ganun practices na. Well, let's talk into that.
Parang, ganun na yung nangyari eh.
Well, sinasabi nga nila the new norm to it. So let's have that in this episode as well. Well, for one, we have Father Bong in the show. Well, Father Bong is a Catholic priest, right, Father?
Yeah.
So at least being I mean with the show being part of the society and culture, of course, we respect lahat naman dito. So kumbaga, para at least we know for a fact that we're talking with Father here as a Catholic priest. So we're talking about the guidelines and whatever when it comes to the wedding itself on a Catholic perspective. Pero with the other guests, later on we will
Yeah.
be talking about, of course, the celebration itself as a whole and stuff. But for you, Father, sa'yo muna, doon muna tayo. Kamusta? Kamusta ang mga kinakasal? Anong nangyayari? Anong bago? What they should know?
Medyo feeling ko medyo traumatic yung mga kinakasal ngayon kasi hindi lang yung COVID but we're just coming in from Taal, no?
Yeah.
So yung
Yes.
Taal, maraming cancellations dyan and then
True.
yung iba nag-move to Manila and then pag-move naman sila sa Manila so lockdown. So talagang sira lahat ng plano, no? They had the plan A, nag-plan B. I don't know what their plan C is. But yun ang isa sa mga napapansin namin, no? But meron pa rin namang yun, may mga mangilan-ngilan na nagpapatuloy pa rin ng kasal but very very minimal lang yung mga guests, no? Talagang their immediate family and then a couple of sponsors and that's it, no? Wala na yung usual na mga mahahabang mga entourage, no? Yeah. So yun ang at least what we have witnessed, no? Talagang kahit yung mga kilala kong pare na handling wedding churches, so there's really a decline in their schedules, so mga nag-back out, so tapos nagpa-postpone, no? Yun ang katis mga trend na nakita ko rin for the past months.
Marami bang Father? Are there kumbaga talagang solid na restrictions right now like hanggang ganitong number of guests ka lang inside the church or hanggang ganitong what do you call this, secondary sponsors lang kasi yung iba dati sumosobra, humahaba eh. And or also with the principal sponsors, meron ba tayong guideline for that?
Actually, yung sinusunod natin na guidelines ngayon, yung nire-release pa rin ng IATF, no, Interagency Task Force ng COVID-19. We're following yung kanilang prescriptions na 10 persons for a religious gathering. So, kung bibilangin mo yun, yung pare, yung couple, tapos siguro the rest, isang sakristan siguro na wag-a-assist din dun sa pare, and then the rest could be the immediate family. So that will be the 10 people that could be allowed inside the church. So far, yung katulad na banggit ni Reg, there were just 3 people, no, 4 people, siguro mga 4 people yan kasi on the Catholic side, no, ang kailangan lang naman kasi is the couple, the priest, and then a couple of sponsors. So technically, that's it, no?
Yeah.
The smallest number, a wedding to proceed is just 5 people, no? So couple of sponsors, yung couple na ikakasal, and then the priest, no? So yun lang. If there's yung additional 5, well, it's up to it. It's up to the couple or the one to be wed, no?
Pero dun ba sa guideline na yun na 10 people, I think Angela, Buboy, based sa mga naririnig natin right now, kasi I'm not quite sure kung meron na kayong na-execute recently or what. Pero with that, paano yung mga suppliers natin? Like for example, photographers, are they counted with the 10 people ba? Or something like that?
Yung sa amin kasi, bale, di ba, for Catholic weddings kasi, there's a limit of 10 people. So, usually kasi, because wala naman ipipila per se, no? So, wala naman talagang major na kailangan gawin at the time, during the Mass at least, yung mga coordinators, for now, hindi mo na kami sinasama. Although, there are some cases na meron isa, pero usually kasi, parang the couple really wants to have the event covered muna. So, by photographers. So yung out of the 10 slots, 'di ba? Yung unang 5 is the sponsors, tas the couple and then the priest. The others, minsan they add a photographer instead of a coordinator. Just the other slots naman, syempre family members, which we understand naman din
Of course.
na
Yeah.
yun. Pero kung titignan mo on another type of wedding, kasi syempre sa Catholic Church kasi, we're also bound by the restrictions from the CBCP. So kung titingnan mo yung weddings naman on the civil side or yung mga Christians, yung iba-ibang denominations, it depends per city kung ano yung guidelines nila ng IATF, kasi 'di ba hindi naman lahat naka GCQ, yung iba na lift na, yung iba. So merong mga certain cities na pwedeng 30, merong 25, merong 10 pa rin, merong hindi talaga pwede. Pagka yung city na yon pwede, I think they allow at least maximum, parang ngayon parang 25 yata eh. There's a city na pwede naging 25. So may mga nakakapag-push through na na non-Catholic, tapos civil in nature, or kasi pagka Christian kasi yung pagka pastor yung nag-o-officiate, it's still considered a civil wedding. Kasi hindi naman, kasi pag sa Catholic we have the mass to make it, 'di ba, parang within the celebration of the mass nandun yung nuptial rite. But if sa Christian or sa other denominations, it's still considered technically parang civil wedding pa din siya.
Understood.
Right.
Noel, para sa inyo, having said that, you've covered lots of weddings before. Alam natin gaano ka-toxic somehow ang pagpaplano ng kasal. Being there sa call time, sobrang aga, and all. Well, you guys are used to that. Pero let's say, doon tayo sa usapan ng church. How do you see it changing right now na tipong, kasi for some, they would love to see pictures pa din, of course, to look back in this time. But at the same time, having this crisis right now and having the restrictions, do you see the part of the photography there getting lesser prioritization for couples, for couples planning their weddings?
For me, hindi pa rin. Kasi, people getting married will still love to have their photos taken. So, what happens, like, I don't think the role of photography will be diminished. Ang mababawasan lang talaga would be the number of photographers.
Okay.
But since it's also a small wedding, one photographer usually can do it. Kasi ako naka-cover nga ako ng 50 guest wedding, mag-isa lang ako eh. So it's actually it's really possible. Ngarag ka lang, of course. But kaya naman. And I don't think, kasi since it's ideally an event that only happens once, unless may nangyari pang kakaiba, di ba? You'd really want photos of your wedding taken talaga. So, and of course, they'd want somebody na marunong, hindi yung basta cellphone lang, di ba? Kasi problema pag cellphone lang, nawawala minsan yung files or hindi ganun ka-okay yung output, di ba? Yun lang naman.
Yun pa rin naman yun naman yung reason, I mean the value itself on why professional videographers and photographers are being dragged into this celebration as well. Kasi you prepared for it, might as well make the most out of it naman talaga. But having said that, I think the restrictions that we have right now, it's good na kumbaga at least the photographer, well, for some that pwedeng nagplaplano pa lang, for those that are planning, photography means kasi it's really a team. So, like what Noel said, sabi niya, kaya naman talagang i-cover ng isa. Pero yung tipong the team behind it, post-production, yung gumagawa pa ng mga photo slide, SDE, whatever, etc. Ang dami niyan. And that is sobrang hirap na tipong magfo-focus ka pa on your craft, on taking those moments. I wouldn't say pictures, but those moments. Ang hirap nun. Tapos iniisip pa pang gawin yung iba. Going on, boy. Kamusta ang with the live event? In a sense, wedding is a live event. Hiccups, kamusta? Kamusta ang natin? Dun sa actual wedding pa lang, madami na tayong what do you say, hiccups or mga hindi natin inaasahang mangyari. But right now, how do you see it in terms of managing this contingency, I guess? Yung mga bagay na talagang, tapos with these restrictions pa, sobrang dami ng restrictions, by the way. So, hindi to katulad dating, may nakalimutan doon, puntahan. Right now, what if biglang may checkpoint kang dadaanan, di ba? I mean, that stress in general, as a coordinator, how will that boil in with you guys?
Kasi over the past few weddings that I've had the opportunity to ask around with either the friends in the industry or during my show, ang nangyayari is, as always, it's a team effort. Pero there is a level of consciousness from the beginning of the event, preparation pa lang hanggang dulo. Kasi one, we're all conscious of not having too many people during the preps. Kasi you already have your makeup artist, your photo and video doing their thing, and then us, the coordinators, managing the timeline, and then kung may mga bagay man na kailangan ayusin. Mostly, it's just the flowers and then the gown na lang ngayon, and a little bit of the timeline. Kasi right now, receptions are not much of a thing. Although meron, it's more of a personal. So yung galawan lang yung very conscious kami, very especially about the head count of the people inside a very small room, whether it's the house, or luckily for some, medyo nakagawa ng paraan to have a bigger place that they can start their preparation. That's one. Pagdating naman sa ceremony itself, sabi nga ni Miss Angela, there's lesser people to manage when it comes to the march.
Yeah.
Pero the element itself is still there. So you still have to line up, the mass still works, the offertory and everything else in between still has it. Pero again, we're all conscious, whether you're the photographer, the videographer, and the coordinating team. Conscious lang din kami na, even in my experience, talking to other couples, ang sabi nila, ang nangyayari daw, pag medyo, you have a little bit more photographers and videographers, yung mga sakristan sa taas, ang pumapasok. So, naiwan lang si father, lalo pag wala namang partner sila. Pumili lang, or it's not yet the other half of the liturgy, okay lang. So medyo nagbabalance out lang din, even for the leaders and all. Tapos pag kailangan naman na lahat sila nandun, coordinators ang lalabas ng simbahan. Pagdating naman sa post-nap and all, it's still the same. It's just so happen that you kind of miss yung moments na they're all really together in a sense. You'd see it eh. You'd see it on most photos na hiwa-hiwalay ng konti. You definitely see the distance. Pero I guess that's where the value of your photographers and videographers come in. Really choosing the suppliers and not choosing to have your family do this. Kasi kayo na nga lang yung nandoon, busy ka pang mag-picture. So parang yan? That's what we really want to encourage. Just be in the moment with the couple.
Well, my question naman is more or less, well, this is an open question to all four of you, but given the situation right now and the fact na although the weddings are still happening, wala pa rin vaccine, how do you see the future wedding ceremonies post-pandemic wise? Kasi di ba syempre nag-iingat ang mga tao ngayon, and prior to the pandemic, I'm pretty sure more or less malalaki yung ceremonies dito sa Philippines. It's all about family and friends and bongga talaga. You really spend for your big day.
Yeah.
But how do you see the future of the traditional weddings coming into place, or like how it's going to pan out post-pandemic? Do you see it going back to normal, or do you see it changing a bit or adjusting in a different direction because of the pandemic?
Kaya ulit tayo? Alphabetical ulit. Angela, kamusta? Wala eh. A ka eh. Wala tayong magawa eh.
Yung after this, feeling ko naman, babalik naman gradually, no? Pero kasi, syempre cautious tayo when it comes to having a lot of people together.
Yeah.
Pero kasi, since nagiging innovative na rin kasi yung mga suppliers ngayon to like how they're gonna set up even a house, 'di ba? Parang kasi people now they really wanna make things happen pa rin regardless of what's going on. So
sa bahay.
yeah, they do the styling at home, which is also nice na parang nasa-shift lang yung instead of having a hotel ballroom to your living room. Siguro for the time being, magiging ganun muna siya. We'll really medyo shift to a smaller size in terms of yun sa ceremony and sa reception. Tapos kasi ang parang projection nila, to be honest, parang mga nasa 1 to 2 years till it goes back to normal. We're hopeful that it will go back to normal. Although syempre, madami talagang magiging changes na rin kasi syempre yung safety, I don't think naman forever tayong naka-PPE, no? Pag nag-weddings tayo, hindi naman to that level or naka-mask pa din. Pero siguro yung like with how the buffets are, 'di ba, yung the laureates, syempre kasi they're sharing of utensils being used or it's gonna be all plated, para there's less siguro magkakaroon muna ng ganon na shift. Pero I think babalik pa din naman siya to how it was. Yan.
Angela, to add lang dyan, no? I mean, dun sa nabanggit mo, Angela. I mean, sorry. Dun lang sa nabanggit ni Angela. You mentioned about PPEs, no? Well, ngayon ko lang naisip, no? It can actually be a trend right now at this point. We're in, no joke. I mean, I'm challenging the designers right now.
PPE gown?
Create PPE gowns. Exactly. I mean, gowns that are really, it's part of the innovation. And this is how we can continue, this is how we can help the industry to continue. Wala tayong magagawa with that what's happening right now. The only thing we can do is to adapt to change. And having said that, if we are talking about bits and details, na ayan, isa nilang sinasabi right now, 'di ba? We're talking about the gowns, the clothes that the couples or the people inside are wearing. Well, PPE is the new gowns. Make it trendy, make it fashionable. I mean, 'di ba? It can be, everyone can laugh at us right now. Pero baka mamaya in the next few makakita tayo naglalabas si Michael Cinco about it. We've seen Michael Cinco release a PPE which is fashionable. So I don't see it being a trend in the near future. Well, that's just what I want to add on there. Father Bong, may tanong ako sa iyo dito tungkol dyan sa post na yan. Well, for the Catholic wedding pa rin, kumbaga, syempre. Kasi, di ba, with the Catholic wedding, ginagawa natin to talaga sa church, inside the church.
Yeah.
Pero, meron na bang napapag-usapan about the take on the celebration off-site? Like, as in sa labas, like nabanggit ni Angela, homes right now are being redesigned, redecorated for the occasion. Kahit andito tayo sa sitwasyon lang na to. I mean, hanggat wala pang vaccine, like what Reg mentioned, meron na bang napapag-usapan sa side natin sa Catholic na about these things that maybe we can adapt?
Yeah. I don't think so that will happen, no? Kasi kung medyo pinapayagan naman yung small gatherings, very intimate celebrations, then that would be helpful. Kasi that would be also to our advantage, no? Kasi is based from our experience, me personally, minsan yung pagkaganda din ng celebration, well, it's a dream for any lady, no? Kumbaga, yan dream wedding nila. So, you have the preparations and everything. Sometimes, the essentials are caught up in the preparations, no? Just to put my, my classmate, no, yung isang klase kong pare, nagkakasal siya. And in the middle of the ceremony, hinimatay si bride, no? Hinimatay si bride. Oh. Dahil sa puyat, sa pagod, no? Talagang hinimatay si bride, and then all throughout the ceremony, she has to sit, no? Although kasi may ibang part doon na kailangan tumayo, so kailangan humarap, pero all throughout nakaupo na dahil nga hinimatay na sa pagod, no? Sa pagod sa puyat. Well, yun yung isang nakikita ko na advantage na, well, it's a time that would be maximized to heighten the importance or the beauty of the sacrament, no? Kasi hindi lang naman nagiging sacrament yung wedding because of the mass, but it itself is already a sacrament, no? So parang opportune time na talagang ipakita, iguro ano yung essentials about the celebration. Kaya I don't think so. Ako siguro pwede kong idagdag dun sa dun sa PPE, no? Well, that would be also for advantage kasi minsan nga medyo hindi na modest yung ibang gowns ng ibang bride. Pero siguro if there's a color, that it should always be white. It should always be white pagdating sa mga concept, even sa ng group.
Of course. Oh, going back to Reg's question. Reg, ano yung sa atin kanina? Sorry bago ko mag-send. Post-pandemic, no? I mean, post-pandemic.
Their perspective lang nila sa future of wedding ceremonies in a Philippine setting, post-pandemic ways.
Yeah.
Tayo, Buboy. Ayan, Sir Father Bong.
Parang at least on the Catholic Church side, no, baka ganun pa rin. At least pa konti-konti.
Yeah.
And then, ang part din namin is really to emphasize din dun sa family, dun sa couple, ano ba yung essentials, ano yung beauty ng celebration na pwedeng pagandahin even it's in its simplest form.
True. That's good. Buboy, being susunod sa Bong.
Definitely two things ang you would all see during weddings post-pandemic. One is the availability and the concept of live stream. I've discussed this before sa show ko. Basically, as mentioned ni Angela before, no, may mga others, you've seen it na ang weddings, dahil konti lang ang guest mo, everyone else gets to join you online. So the idea of having basically a 3 group for coverage, your photographers, your videographers, and then your live stream agent. That will be the person who would handle that live stream. Kasi it's more logical for everyone else to just watch versus be there. And especially for the immunocompromised, yung mga lola natin, yung mga tito-tita, or those people that are overseas that who cannot travel. So that's really one thing na most likely magiging regular na pagdating sa mga weddings during this period. No?
Yeah.
The second one, the biggest change talaga is the reception. Like on my end as a host, part of the possible change that I need to work on is I have to have my own mic. Kasi hindi na ako pwede mag-share ng mic sa ibang tao.
Yeah.
Hindi ako pwede umasa sa lights and sounds.
Yes.
So may sarili na akong gamit. So that's additional cost. The games will have to change. Because we cannot do the games that have very close contact. So medyo mawala yung mga yon. We will have to innovate in a whole different level. We need to utilize.
Magkakahut na tayo. Magkakahut na tayo sa weddings.
I don't know, maybe.
Diba?
Hindi ko masabi. As in, I am trying to find actually ways pa and thinking na kung ano yung mga possible games. Surely, meron pa rin yan. Pero, reception alone will change from photo ops with the couple. So, syempre, hindi pwedeng, wala na yung concept ng closer eh. Kasi hindi pwedeng maging closer. So, isa na yun. So, we'll have to innovate on that. Our photo and video team has to innovate on that. Programs may need to be shorter kasi the more time you spend in a closed room,
The more exposed.
medyo mas challenging.
Yes.
Diba? Plus, yun nga, as I've said, the games, the program will have to be a little bit modified. Ang key element dyan na sureball na magbabago, the concept of money dance. Kasi we've seen it trending already. QR is the new thing. QR na lahat to. Online transfer na lang, wala nang sabit. Promise, kasi hindi pwede eh. No choice eh. Or the money trees.
So,
Yung mga
dapat
ganon.
code na.
Pero yung gown may barcode na yung gown.
Mga ganon. Scan the code na lang on the and the LED or the screen. As Ms. Angela said, the food setup will be different. The design most likely someone opt for a little bit na minimalist or yung iba naman talagang gusto pa rin ng ganon.
Yeah.
It will really depend on the couple. Yung mga elements siguro lang talaga sa reception ng mga maliliit na bagay ang magbabago. Kasi especially for us, like 4 coordinators pagdating pa sa seating arrangement. Before, ang mga na-discuss na ng ibang coordinators, like si Mang Kuchi, sina Voltaire, they're all thinking na most likely 5 na lang instead of 10 people na seat.
Yeah.
Diba? And then,
yun,
there are also discussions na it will become like 25 to 50% of the capacity of the venue. So kung capacity mo dati is like 150 na lang. Pero minsan sa iba parang ang 50, madami pa. With that said, catering packages will also change. Kasi before, 100 ang minimum. Ngayon, I don't know kung ano na yung minimum, kung magiging 30 na ba siya or 50 eh. Kasi we can't really go full 100 eh. That easily unless you really have a huge venue and then the IATF say na and with finality na for every venue, 50% or X number lang capacity. Yun. Yun talaga yung mararamdaman ng bago. But the love, the happiness, and the fun moments that you will capture during whether it's a ceremony or the reception will always be the same. Medyo mas ano lang talaga siya. It's a whole different feel. Yeah.
Well, I just wanna add there. Father Bong.
Okay, no? Yung experience lang ng online wedding kasi recently may wedding din ako and then they telecast there that kasi yung bride is from Mindoro and yung groom is from Mindanao. So their families really can travel here kasi they're both working here in Manila. So is yung mga office mates sila yung tumulong para mag-broadcast dun sa families nila. So yun, it's a really different level kasi nga gusto din naman ng groom and bride that their families would be there. But pero dahil nasa situation, they just have to be contented with what they have. So ibabato lang konting delay dahil sa internet. But then nairaos kahit pa paano, they also have to consider na i-push through din yung wedding dahil sa mga ibang legal documents, for example, yung kanilang wedding license kasi may expiration eh. So, kailangan magamit siya within that span of period of time.
Well, before I go on with Noel, no? Angela, I wanna ask this lang. I mean, like what with Buboy mentioned, no? Kanina, napag-usapan na niya about the reception itself, the venue, changing the packages, getting smaller, or whatever. Do we see also possibility ba or di ko alam kung nangyayari na right now no na there is a need for what do you call this licenses or approval, let's say para i-conduct yung isang event. For example, you're having this reception in this venue, Bear for example yan, tapos you'll have 100 guests pero yung venue is only for 150. So, kailangan ba niya ng mga permit? Ayun, permit. Permit is the term. Meron ba tayong mga kailangan i-accomplish na permits like that?
For now kasi, wala pa nagiging directive. Although kasi, I also spoke to some of my coordinator friends prior to this show na there's one client that they had who wants to do her reception in a particular city in Manila. Tapos, they had to ask permission from the mayor for them to be allowed 25 people. 25. So, for now, meron parang informal siya na kailangan ng permission, pero hindi pa siya na-formalize into like having a real permit. Although, feeling ko, because of this pandemic, feeling ko we will shift to that. Baka magkaroon na tayo ng mga sanitary, mga ganun-ganun na, I think that's important din kasi syempre peace of mind din for everybody na na the particular place has been approved to hold a particular event or parang na-inspect sila ganyan, especially ventilation kasi syempre if you're holding a lot of people together in a venue, syempre yung air quality ba dun sa place na yon, kailangan syempre na-check din yun ng DOH or something na lawmaking body na parang for its approval kasi syempre a mass gathering is a mass gathering, so madaming tao talaga na will be at a particular place at a particular time. Yung mga guidelines naman din nung IATF, kaya kami din waiting for their final, parang directive for us. Kasi if you say 100 people or if you say 50 people, if you wanna come up with an event talaga na parang like a full-on reception, you don't count 50 people as 50 guests eh. Kasi there are crews. There are suppliers there. There are waiters there. So we have yet to find out if within the 50 people are there, the waiters already counted there, or are we already counted there, or kasi mangyayari, your guests will be from 25, magiging like what, 15. Tapos
Straight down pa.
Oo, kasi syempre kami, parang we can't run like lights and sounds, or we can't really serve food to the guests. So yun, that's what we're waiting for, which also will have to be, well, I believe kailangan may approval din talaga of like a government office, ganun.
Yeah. Well,
madagdag ko lang pala.
Go, sige.
Go.
Yeah, go, Buboy.
Yun, madagdag ko lang. Speaking of, sabi ni Angela regarding yung headcount, isa rin sa definitely makikita natin na critical would be yung contact tracing. So yung guest list ng guest ng couple would be so important kasi it would also add the names and the persons of the suppliers. So lahat ng lights and sounds, lahat ng waiters na nag-serve, lahat ng personnel doon, lahat ng pumasok kailangan ng ibuoin ng database. So whatever happens, God forbid, someone gets it, you have that guest list database that we could give to the authorities para mag-contact tracing. Kasi so hindi na pwede yung ang guest list dati, alam ni Mas Angela yan. Yung iba, last minute binibigay, sulat kamay, ino-override kayo.
Kailangan ng matuto ng mga Pilipino ng RSVP. Kailangan.
Hindi mo naman din kasi alam mo naman ipa-rapid test mo lahat ng mga bisita mo, diba? So you really won't know until the event is done if there's anybody there who was found to be positive. So,
ay, nako, ang dami. Well, those are good points. But yeah, I'm going to Noel. Noel, pare, being the man behind the lens here. Okay, it's your turn. With the church, with the reception coming in, with social distancing. Kanina yung tanong ni Reg, no? How do you see it post-pandemic? How is this weddings going to be?
Sayang kasi variation yun sa picture ko eh. Parang kunwari may mga ginagawa, di ba? But on a more serious note, ang mangyayari kasi, ang nakikita ko kasi mangyayari dyan sa weddings ngayon is, I think a lot of people will scale down. I mean, ayoko naman mawala ng trabaho yung mga stylists. Magagaling sila, ganda ng output nila. But at the same time, I think with the fear of COVID right now, tsaka unstable ang job security, there's a lot of people with no job security. Small businesses are closing all over. Mahirap magkapera. So, I think a lot of them will instead invest on the more minimal things. Like, kasi, for example, di ba, 3 months tayo naka-lockdown, madami tayong hindi nakitang important people. Doon mo marirealize sino ba talaga yung gusto mong makita. Like ako, gusto ko lang talaga makita yung asawa at anak ko, so wala na akong problema, di ba? Pero, alam ko pa other people.
Kasama mo naman dyan, no?
Kasama ko naman, di ba? Kasi wala akong problema. But a lot of other people, di ba, parang, ay, si Lola, taga ko din nakita, 3 buwan, si Dad, whatever, di ba? So parang, feeling ko, yung mga guest list liliit talaga, tapos yun lang talaga yung gusto mong makitang taong, yung matagal mo hindi nakita, hindi mo nayakap, hindi mo na physically touch at all. Sila lang siguro yung pupuntahin mo sa wedding mo. And parang pasensya na lang sa mga ibang tao, di ba? Pero at least at the same time, may excuse ka na to not invite people that you don't wanna be there. Or
malaking problema ng mga kinakasal dyan, Brad.
Di ba, mga tibong, pre, sorry ha, ATF guidelines. Sa pulang pwede, sensya ka na.
Totoo.
Good excuse yun, di ba? At the same time, sa reception, sa nakikita ko din, I remember an MC, I forgot the MC, it was either Atom or si Atom nga yata. Nagsabi nga siya na parang, bakit ba ginagawa yung grand entrance? Parang mas maganda, di ba? Pagdating ng reception, makimingle na lang kayo with the guests.
Yeah.
And feeling ko, mas ganong version, instead of may separation pa na parang bongga papasok yung couple, welcome to the wedding of blah blah blah. Parang mas ano sila, they'd rather greet people kasi nga 'di ba, there were so many restrictions during COVID. So I'm talking about a post-COVID world na kung kailan man 'yon, 'di ba? So parang more of uy, kamusta? Ganon. Tapos yeah, I really believe smaller weddings are going to be the norm. And tas so medyo magtitipid talaga yung tao because 'di ba nung nag-crash yung economy way back when. Di pa tayo pinapanganak nun, di ba? Pero sobrang nagtitipid yung mga tao. I mean, even the Asian financial crisis, di ba, daming tinamaan eh.
Yeah.
So, tayo ngayon, naramdaman natin yung effects ng Asian financial crisis sa parents natin. Ewan ko lang ha. Well, ako kasi, sobrang matipid ako eh. So, ewan ko. Pero, for me, yung naramdaman ko yun na naghirap sila, di ba? Di parang, you keep that in mind.
Yep.
And may fear talaga na, shucks, baka mangyari ulit to eh. So, you don't wanna let go of too much money.
Yeah.
So, yun. Parang for me yun, pabor din as a photographer because I have less people to focus on in terms of the photography, di ba? Kasi, less guests. Yun.
Well, having to add lang doon sa sinabi mo, no, I think people will be more, hindi will eh, they are starting to be more concerned on how they spend money. So, yun naman yung nangyayari dun eh. Even if you have lots of money there in stash and all, pero nakikita mo na eh, do I really have to spend on this? Kailangan ko ba talaga to and that? And having said that, on your turf, pare, on the photography side, no, I think isa sa nakikita ko din dyan, are SDEs really valuable pa at this point? Kasi, honestly, if you only have, imagine if you only have 20, 15 people in your wedding, and you have your SDE, pagagawa mo, paulit-ulit yung mukha dun. And alam natin yun, di ba? Hindi, di ba? Seryoso. SDEs most likely ilan? 3 minutes or what? Creating a good clip, about 30 seconds a minute, kailangan mo ng maraming tao para maging diverse yun eh. Kasi sobrang bilis, ang daming nangyari and all, di ba? Pero ngayon na lumiliit ang weddings, the value of SDE is going this way. Kasi nga, konti yung tao, so paulit-ulit yung makikita ko, uy, nakita ko si Noel. Tapos after 5-10 seconds, uy, nakita ko na naman si Noel. Nakita ko na naman si Angela. Wala namang iba? Wala namang iba makikita dyan? Eh, hindi ka na magagawa natin.
I think ang magiging uso would be actually may gumagawa naman na ngayon, but what would be uso na would be what they call the other day edit. So it means
What's this?
Done. Other day edit is, well, not on the day itself, but the day after, the week after, 1 week of the wedding.
Oh.
So, and I think ang pinaka-audience niyan would be those na hindi nakapunta ng live, di ba? So, para may mapapakita pa rin kayo sa relatives nyo. Yun lang, baka magsawa ka sila sa mukha nyo, di ba? Pero, di ba, matutuwa naman sila, kinasal eh. Ganun.
I mean, that's nice. Pero, well, for this episode, well, ang dami natin. And the wedding itself kasi is really that grand. That's why we invited you in this episode, no. Pero guys, we're running out of time for this episode. Sobrang thank you for you guys for joining us here. We want to talk more, but to wrap this up, I want to hear from everyone. Isa lang, I mean, what's the new wedding for you? I mean, not really on details, pero how do you see really the wedding, as in the wedding, on a personal note, individually? Baliktarin naman natin, sabihin ni Angela, siya na naman yung mauna eh. Noel, ikaw muna.
Noel.
Mahirap yung number 1 ka eh.
Noel daw muna.
Noel muna, Noel.
Ako pa yung pinagsalita una, ako yung pause eh. Tawag dito. For me, the new wedding talaga, yeah. I think I said it already, but
yeah.
I think the normal would be a more focused one, a more what do you call that word? Yung mas sadya ba? Hindi na yung kailangan imbitado si ganito, kailangan imbitado si ganyan, at kailangan gayahin natin si celebrity wedding, chorba, ganun. I think that will be the new norm. I think more people would be going to look into themselves and go, parang, ano ba talaga gusto natin? Ano ba talaga essential?
Yeah.
Diba? So, I think yun yung magiging new norm. And I think, for me personally, that's also something that will make me happy because, you're not buying into the trends anymore. You're not buying into what's uso. You're just being yourselves. And I think when you're starting, a life together with somebody na mahal mo, and I think that's important that you just be real, especially with one another. And that, ayun nga, parang if you're not gonna buy into the trends anymore, you're just being yourselves, then yeah, I think that's the most important thing you can do for one another. Tsaka yun nga, you're thinking about way after the wedding party, after the marriage, kasi nga may mga horror stories talaga na gastos ng millions for their wedding, magbe-break
yeah.
months later,
Totoo
So,
yan.
yeah, I think that's gonna be the new wedding.
Buboy.
Okay. For me, definitely, it's back to basics. It's back to basics. Kasi the basic of it is, why are you doing this? Why are you getting married in the first place? It's because you want to have that covenant with God, for those who have faith-based, or with the state, to spend your life together as husband and wife, build a family, the basic unit of society. It goes all back to that. Kung why you want to do this. Do you want to do this with the people that you love? Sino-sino lang yon? Do you want to treasure this moment? So you have, the suppliers come in. It's all going back to the basic.
Yeah.
Ano yung rason kung bakit mo siya gagawin?
It's true.
And why do you want to do this? Who do you want to do it with? And from that, it's easier to start off your intimate wedding planning. Yun. So it's just a back to basic thing. Which is great because we get to focus again on what's really important. Not day 1, which is your wedding day, but day 2 and onwards, which is your married life. Yeah.
Other Bong.
Okay. I think mostly nasabi ni Noel tsaka ni Buboy, no? Parang in the gist that the wedding is just a day, but marriage lasts for a lifetime. No?
Yeah.
Parang that's it. No? That is the gist ng is parang pinapaalaala din natin sa mga couples that will be receiving the sacrament of matrimony. But I know for sure that there are a lot of couples who are also inviting you, yung mga photographers, videographers, MCs, tapos coordinators, for them to help that they become very, very memorable, no? To capture the moment very specifically. Pero siguro, pwede ring paalaala din sa mga couples that the most essential things will always be captured by the heart. Kaya siguro yun din yung ihahanda nila, yung hindi lang yung kanilang pagmamahal, not just the love that they have professed for their spouse, but really the love that will really bind them together for the rest of their lives.
Angela?
Okay. Ako naman, siguro kasi every time the night before ng wedding kasi of every bride that I have, I always tell them na no matter what happens, ikakasal ka pa rin. That's always my line with everybody na parang, Miss Angela, yung ganito, hindi pa tumatawag si ganyan. So what? Kakasal ka pa rin. Dapat yun yung mindset mo. On the day of your wedding, ikakasal ka pa rin. Ngayon, because of what happened during this time, itong pandemic, hindi naman ibig sabihin hindi ka na ikakasal eh. Kasi love is not cancelled. Hindi tayo parang, hindi kayo kakasal kayo, break na kayo. Hindi naman siya ganun eh. Parang siguro this is the time that you can build on your relationship with your fiancé. Kasi syempre, tagal kayo hindi nagkita. So ano ba yung naging ugali nyo sa isa't isa during the time na hindi kayo nagkita, 'di ba? May mga na-unfold ba na realizations. You can look back, you can look into yourselves kung are we still into this. Second, yung mga priorities natin, parang do we really want this? O, pwede bang mag-antay yon? May hinahabol ba tayo? May taxi ba sa labas? Kaya natin pakasal ngayon? Kasi kung meron, pakasal tayo. Pero kung wala naman, di ba? Parang it can wait. It will always wait. Saka hindi naman kasi mangyayari to kung hindi to pinlano ni Lord for you. Eh.
True.
Di ba? hindi naman to sinadya. Hindi naman sinadya to na parang masama kang tao kaya hindi natutuloy yung wedding mo. Hindi yon. It's really a time of parang discovering what's the message of the Lord ba for you. I don't want to be preachy, pero kasi minsan yun talaga yung nangyayari ngayon eh. God wants you to see the wisdom in what's happening now. Pwedeng may inaayos ka pa sa sarili mo, na parang at by that time na pwede ka nang ikasal, okay ka na, maayos ka ng tao, mas mabuti ka nang magiging asawa to your fiancé. Tapos, hindi naman, kung talagang kailangan ng ikasal ngayon, hindi naman nagiging pangit yung wedding just because it's simple. Yun yung last point ko. Hindi siya nagiging pangit dahil 5 lang kayo. Or hindi nagiging pangit dahil 700 kayo. Kasi we've had weddings na ganun kalalaki. Ako personally, my wedding, I had 300 guests. But then every time I'm with my friends, I'd be like, oh, alam mo ba, nung wedding ko, ganyan. Tapos sabihin sa akin, nakikita doon kami. So, hindi ko din pala naaalala, nandun din pala yung mga kaibigan ko. So, parang regardless if it's that big or that small, di ba? The point is, kinasal ka pa rin, malaki yan o maliit, ang mas importante yung paghandaan mo kung ano yung magiging life after. So, whether naging 5 lang kayo o naging 300 kayo, naging 700 kayo, your love is not canceled. Matutuloy pa din siya. Kung gusto mong pakasal bukas, basta may lisensya ka, alam ni Father Bong yan, may lisensya kayo, nagawa niyo lahat ng sacrament, may certificate kayo, then pwede kayong ikasal. Hindi naka-cancel yon. Pwedeng ikasal, huwag kayo masyadong mag-worry. Kasi ang dami nag-worry ngayon eh. I know it's heartbreaking. Sasabihin nila, hindi naman kasi ikaw yung ikakasal kaya hindi mo nararamdaman. Hindi, we feel as much of our clients as they do. Kasi syempre, this is also our bread and butter. Pero more than that, yung sanity nyo, iniisip din namin. Kung pipilit natin lahat yan, para-pareho tayong maloloka. So, put it all aside and then focus on your priorities. And remember that it is not canceled. You're just waiting.
To add lang to Angela, to what Angela said, no? Pang Miss Universe yung sagot, Brad. Anyway. Bago tayo pumunta doon kay Reg. Actually, yung sinabi niya, that's the reason why coordinators are there. Sobrang stressful ng pag-aayos ng wedding for a bride or for the couple itself. So, the mere fact that you get someone to do it for you, that's the same reason kaya nila nasasabi na they also feel for you. Kasi hindi nila to basta ginagawa. Una, bread and butter, sabihin na nga natin ganyan, you're paid, ganito, ganyan. But keep in mind, pinag-isipan nila to. May pagod dito, may effort dito. It's like, ikaw rin, I mean, as an employee, whatever profession you are doing, if your work gets underappreciated or what, you feel bad. And that's the same with these people. The people behind this event, the wedding itself. Reg, being the single person here, di siya alam kung meron kang bata pa eh, kaya nga sabi ko baka mag-i-inquire kanina sa inyo. So, how do you see the new wedding?
I honestly don't know if I'm the right person to give my comments on it because I'm not looking to get married anytime soon at all. But I mean, just my general take of how the new wedding will be. I honestly, well, for me talaga sa listening to the opinions that the 4 of you have shared, I really agree with Buboy. It's back to basics talaga. Kasi at the end of the day, no matter how grand somebody would want their wedding to be, when it comes to a pandemic or a crisis, you just really think about who you want there, who specifically, and of course, the person you're about to share your life with. Ba't ka natatawa, Harley? Nakikita kita, tinatawanan mo ko.
Basta ako.
But yeah, I mean, I don't really... It will change, but I mean, as long as hindi naman magpalit yung pagmamahal ng mag-asawa, di ba? Hindi na yun issue. That's what matters naman at the end of the day, is that you're with somebody that you love.
Well, my take here to wrap this up. Well, it's going to be solemn. Kanina bang ganda Buboy going back to basic. Well, tama naman yun eh. Pero how do we really define basic. I guess when we talk about weddings, we talk about, well, two people really want to commit on each other. And yun yung mahalaga doon. So I would say that the new wedding is really about the two of you and the Lord. That's really the new wedding. It's not about who is there, na third person pa, fourth, fifth, whoever. It's not about, sorry, I don't mean anything on this. It's not about the coordinator, about the photographers. Andun yun sa likod eh. Hindi ko sasabing hindi sila kailangan, but they work at the background. But if we are really looking at this, the new wedding is about the couple. The new wedding is about the two of you. It's about, and also you're putting that commitment with the Lord. As simple as that. We have seen how it evolved. Masyado siyang na dekorasyonan ng society natin, ng media, ng marketing. Let's be frank about it. I want to be frank about it. I mean, the wedding itself, the ceremony, the sacrament itself, naging opportunity siya to wrap around with different layers of glam, of fashion, and what. And that's okay. That's okay. But what's not okay there is dahil dun sa nade-decoratean siya, nakakalimutan natin yung core niya. And for one, that is what this pandemic is really all about, I would say. Not only with the wedding, but with other aspects of the society. We always go back to the core. Like what Noel mentioned kanina, natututo tayong alamin ano yung mas kailangan talaga. That's going back to the core. As long as there's food on the table, that's it. We're breathing, we're waking up, that's good. We're great. We're alive. And same goes to this aspect or to this event in our lives, which is the wedding, that all of these four guests of ours for tonight really shared good insights. And I would say, ganda. I mean, I am proud of this episode because for those planning their weddings and in the middle, na at this point, possible na nai-stress na nangyayari, ganito, ganyan, ganyan, ganyan. And that's cool. That's valid. To the brides na nagpe-freak out na right now, I would say valid yung nararamdaman nyo. That's really okay. For one, realistic, guys, gumastos kayo. Naglabas kayo ng pera. Kaya yung nararamdaman nyo nagpe-freak out kayo, that's valid. But at the end of the day, it's about you and the other person and the Lord. Kung pinapasok nyo commitment. Okay? Plus na the others. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thanks to you for being the show. But before we end the show, no, I just want to say anything you guys want to say. Isa-isay na lang natin. Noel, anything to plug?
Tawag dito. Yeah, so you can, if you want to see my wedding photography works, you can just go to my website, quirkycreatives.com. I also have a Facebook page. Just look for Quirky Creatives by Noel Salazar. So that's mine. So yun, gusto nyo talaga yung small weddings, I will love that wedding. I will love to cover that wedding. So yeah, yun lang.
Good. Angela?
Kami naman, so we're day one project, we're wedding coordinators. So, siguro ngayon hindi pa tayo makapag-wedding, but it doesn't mean that you can't plan, you can start planning. Pwede kang mag-plan ngayon, so you can just give us a call. Tapos, since wala pa kaming weddings, bili mo na kayo ng longganisa sa amin, weekly naman yun, galing Lukban.
Lukban longganisa ng day one project. Buboy!
Bibili ako. Kapag-alala.
Alright. Sa akin naman po, of course, it's Road to the Big Day on Facebook Live. So just search for the hashtag Road to the Big Day on FB Live. So that's facebook.com/bigevents. That's my page. I do my show. I try my best to do my show weekly. This week lang pinabigyan kasi Harley sa tawid muna ako ng bakod. I hope you get to watch. We'll be discussing a lot more about the new weddings and everything else in between about this lovely industry. And then soon I'll be releasing my intimate wedding package. So check that out soon. Facebook.com/bigevents. Thank you.
And this is good for broadcasting. You see people jumping in shows and out and different wherever. You can see people sa show dito. Next time, nandun sa kabilang show naman. This is, well, that's part of the broadcasting side of things right now. Ngayon, si Buboy nandito. Who knows? Maybe sa susunod, andun naman kami or whatever. It's cross-platform collaboration.
Yes!
Okay. Father,
Alright.
kamusta?
Good, no? Siguro, on the spiritual side, you
Yeah.
could catch me for daily, at least for some reflections sa TV Maria, no? Salita ng Diyos, Salita ng Buhay. You could also catch me sa Hello Father 911 Friday edition every Fridays, 9:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. So, yun lang ang aking pwedeng ma-plug, and hopefully just keep safe and pray.
Raj?
Hello, Harley.
Kamusta? Kamusta ka dyan? Anything to say? We're closing the show. Kamusta?
Well, of course, wala na tayong giveaway. I mean, muntikan ko nang ma-plug lang yon. Pero, if you guys are enjoying our podcast, this is our 18th episode. Kindly follow and like our page at facebook.com/thenewhughph. We also have an Instagram account at thenewhughph. So right after this episode, if I'm not mistaken, Harls, this will be available. The podcast will be available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts for you guys to listen to when you're on the go.
And also Google Podcasts. So we're available na rin in Google.
Oh, Google Podcast. Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
mas malawak yung range right now. So, that's good. I mean, Raj said about it. For tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow, Thursday, we'll have a show. Well, it's going to be the first episode of... how do you pronounce it? UPT by the New You. We'll have Gita Gumabaw back on the show.
Basically, Happy Tea.
Happy Tea kasi yun. So, for those living in Taft, alam natin yung Happy Tea na yan every Thursday. So, we're doing that with Gita Gumabaw tomorrow. And with our guests, award-winning baristas in the house for the new coffee shop. So we will be discussing about how the coffee industry is doing right now. On Friday as well, we have You Mood with, well, it's going to be Stillness Over Coffee, a coffee break playlist by Host. So watch out for that. So for those who tuned in and those who missed this and wants to listen back to this, download the episode like what Red said. And Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. So once again, Noel, Angela, Buboy, Father Bong, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Stay
Thank you,
safe,
Mama. Stay
everyone.
safe. Like always, just stay safe, guys. Still black and white, straightforward. Always the new you. Bye. Good night.
Night.
Alright.